Today is the 2-year anniversary of my life in this old mountain barn. Isn't it funny how time slips through your fingers when you settle in a routine? I never thought I would feel this way, living what most would call a fairy tale life, surrounded by mountains and the breathtaking beauty of nature. But here I am, realizing that even in a place this magical, I let myself get comfortable, stagnant. There's this romanticized version of rural, off-grid life we see everywhere online. A world where everything gets easier and life just flows. But I'm here to tell you, that's just an illusion. These videos and posts, they are just one page of a much bigger story. I think life will never hand us a happy ending neatly wrapped up. And even if it does, don't count on it to last very long. If our souls chose to come here to experience this wild and predictable life, it wasn't to stay comfortable. We're here to learn, to be tested, to stretch beyond our limitations, to fall and rise again. That's what it means to be alive. I realized that just existing is not enough for me. I need to feel alive, to feel that energy bubbling up from within again. And if I want to move out of this rut, it's not gonna happen by accident. First of all, to create real movement in your life, you need a strong enough reason. Let's say you want to quit smoking. You won't have any sustainable results if you're doing it just because you have to. However, if you tap into the deeper fire behind your intention, like the desire to run freely without gasping for air like a fish out of water, or the deep drive to show yourself that you can conquer this addiction, you set yourself up for success. When your why resonates deeply within you, it becomes the fuel that propels you forward. For me, it was all about dedicating time to reassess my life. And before I got the answers, I had to ask the right questions. Who am I, truly? What are some outdated goals and beliefs I can release now? What do I genuinely want for myself and the world? If I was that empowered person, what actions would I take? What would my days look like? How would I behave? We can't deny it any longer. We live in a patriarchal society that has intentionally suppressed the value of stillness, rest, and the slow qualities of yin, feminine energy. We've been conditioned to measure our worth with productivity, pushing us to constantly do rather than simply be. But the truth is, we are human beings, not human doings. My most transformative realization this year was that what I often label as stagnation is sometimes a necessary phase of stillness, a moment for gathering energy before my next chapter. Living here, so close to nature, reminds me that just like our earth goes through seasons, so do we. Everything moves in cycles. Understanding this is really helping me flow with my own rhythm instead of fighting against it. I've come to realize that a lot of times stagnation creeps in when I hit a wall and stubbornly refuse to step back, hoping things will just magically resolve if I just push harder. But the thing is, real breakthroughs, they only happen when I shift my focus and embrace something different.
Wait on me.
When I began creating this video, I kept staring at my blank screen. Nothing would pour out of me. But then, to my surprise, I played some French rap in my ears, and suddenly, everything unlocked. I was in flow mode again.
Yeah, they gotta know. I've been living on the edge, and I keep hearing Geronimo. I need change like slot machines. Still, I got that lotto dough.
You just can't create something new from stagnant energy. It's like wearing the same old clothes every day. High chances are you will end up feeling dull and uninspired until you choose to wear something new and vibrant that uplifts you and thus brings new perspectives. Research shows that our physical environment strongly influences our cognitive patterns. Just like a good playlist sets the mood for a party, your environment influences the vibe of your thoughts. We're all wired differently, and my chemistry means I really struggle to be productive when surrounded by others, especially those I know. As a healer, I'm very sensitive to people's auras and energies. And despite my best efforts, I find it impossible to maintain my creative bubble when surrounded by a familiar aura. So now when I encounter this situation, I always seek a way to physically remove myself so I can reconnect with my own energy and find the clarity I need. I truly believe that physical shifts create mental shifts. When I move my body, it's like a switch flips inside me. You see, movement increases blood flow, which enhances oxygen delivery to our brain and muscles. This boost in circulation not only helps shake off that stuck energy, but also triggers the release of endorphins, those lovely little chemicals that lift our mood and spark creativity. I know how tough it can be to get moving when you're feeling bleh. But honestly, once I push myself to move, it's remarkable how quickly my mindset shifts. I feel recharged, alive, and excited about what's to come. Your body is designed for movement. Who knows what kind of inspiration might come from just letting loose? When I find myself stagnant for too long, it's often because I overcomplicate things. I'm kind of a perfectionist that always wants everything to be special and impeccable before I share it with the world. But setting the bar so high from the start is a surefire way to paralyze myself. My unconscious mind gets blocked by the fear of not being good enough, of not meeting that lofty expectation. So I always remind myself, when learning a new language, you don't become fluent overnight. You'll have to stumble over words, make plenty of mistakes, and people might even laugh at you a few times. But it's in those missteps that you'll learn how to use the right words, grow more confident in your abilities, and eventually become fluent. Everything I create, whether it's a craft, a video, or a poem, is always such a mess at first. But refinement comes later, only once I had the courage to dive in and embrace the process, not before. And this little reminder alone is just enough to get me started. I won't lie, this life is wild. This planet is chaos and can make you feel so small. But deep in my heart, I know that each of us has a part to play in this world, however big or small it might seem. So now you go out there. Don't be afraid to shake things up and reconnect with what drives you. Because when you find that inner spark, it lights the way for others too.